All right, so let's get into the week's games here. Kick things off with the biggest spread of the week, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, Jacksonville Jaguars, going to be everybody's survivor pick if they happen to have the Steelers left in their pocket for this one. 10.5 as we sit right now across the board, really 10.5. And if we're looking from a total standpoint, sitting somewhere in that 46-ish, 46.5 range. So what we found here with this, what this Steelers team is, we were worried about the lulls in the offense. And don't get me wrong, it was the Bengals last week, but Big Ben goes out over 330 yards, 4 touchdowns, and the offense looks like, okay, maybe this offense, if they have to turn it on and keep the foot on the gas from top to bottom, they're able to do that. And, at least solved a little bit for me as far as some of the question marks that I had for this team. But again, grain of salt, it was the Bengals defense that they were doing this up against. More than anything, it was this defense yet again that was able to limit this Bengals offense to anything that they were trying to do. And the Steelers defense is going to keep this team in pretty much every single game that they are in moving forward. Brad, I'll just start with you on this one. This was at 10 not too long ago. They've added the hook. So people were taking the Steelers here at the 10 points. How do we feel about 10 and a hook?
I think there's clearly two sides to this. I think you might see quite good two-way action on this all week, because on the one hand, you've got the numbers guys who, I've seen one adjusted EPA model this week make this game 18. I've heard Rufus Peabody saying, he makes this game 13 over there. But then you've got kind of the situational spot where you've got the big game upcoming against the Ravens, Steelers-Ravens on Thursday night, I think. So that's a huge look ahead spot there, that rematch, which could well settle the AFC North if the Steelers can take care of them again. And we know kind of the personality of the Steelers under Mike Tomlin. They're superb as an underdog. He gets them fired up. He's a rah-rah coach. But when they're expected to win, some stats here, on the road as double-digit favourites, they're 1-10 against the spread, and only 7-4 straight up there. So, despite being huge favourites, expected to win at least 86% of those games by the pre-match spread, they were only 7-4. They're 5-29-1 against the spread, just on the road against a losing team. So, this is the spot we saw against the Cowboys a couple of weeks ago, where every matchup, you look at the field, you go, that Steelers defensive line, they should have shredded the Cowboys offensive line. There was they were on their third tackle, and they didn't, because they came out flat. And you go, most people, whenever anyone brings up a trend, they go, I'm not a trend player, and then they say the trend. But I do think this is real. I do think this is the personality of the team. Teams do take on personalities. They get, they have characteristics, and I do think this one is real. So I did take the 10.5 with the Jags, because I'm kind of willing to put matchups aside and just go, I think we see the Steelers come out very sleepy, just looking ahead to that Ravens game, and that's just the overriding handicapping factor for me here.
Yeah, Brett, we kind of look at this. I mean, there's not a ton of incentive for the Steelers to keep the foot on the gas in this game, should this game get out of hand, right? So even if they are sitting in the fourth quarter up, let's call it 20 or 17 or something like that, I don't think you're going to feel very comfortable holding that 10.5 point ticket in your pocket, because the Steelers do have such a massive game next week, and taking this Jaguars team, to the woodshed in the fourth quarter is probably not really what Mike Tomlin is all about for this one. Is keeping players healthy and making sure that they're ready to go next week. So I know you, and I feel like you are probably taking the Jags at 10.5.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everything that Brad said, this definitely has the same feeling as that Dallas game where they escaped as, huge double-digit favorites. Like, does Pittsburgh get up for this game? Coming off the blowout win over a division rival, they're traveling here. They've got Baltimore on Thanksgiving, like you guys said, on a short week. If there's a look-ahead spot in the NFL this season, this has to be it. For a 9-0 team playing a bottom dweller, just get out of there healthy with a win and start prepping for Baltimore. I think this is a situational spot where the number is too high, especially at 10.5.
Yeah, the getting the hook is pretty interesting on the 10 right there. And we don't talk about 10 being, a key number near as much as, of course, we talk about 3 and 7. But in a game like this where I could easily see, easily see this thing end up being just a backdoor late score where that hook on the 10 comes into being into play. And so, I'm with you guys. I'm either taking the points or I'm going to move on because this Steelers team is not incentivized whatsoever to keep their foot on the gas. And rightfully so, right? I mean, like this game does not mean near as much as that game does on Thanksgiving Day. So I'm with you guys, and it's the points or nothing for me in this one.